Hello. Just had to open it up in a new window, and here we are. The last window was just loading for ages, but now we're live. How are we all doing? What games am I going to? I'm going to Matlock Town against Bottisford Town in the FA Cup on Saturday, and then potentially Halifax against they're playing Woking on Wednesday. Depends if there's any good FA Cup replays, though. There might be. So I might be going to an FA Cup game instead of Halifax. Hello. Yeah, I was trying to load up for ages and it was just spinning round. So I opened a new window and here we are, we're live. Yes, I know I'm late, Angelina. Yes. It was a technical issue. Is the sound okay? Everyone, I'm a bit paranoid now because the issues just now. Edward's Footy Predictions is here. Ashley's here. Roaster's here. So we're quite a lively chat today. What do we think of the Champions League draw to begin with then? The holders, PSG, have got a horrendous set of fixtures. Kairat Almaty against Real Madrid. Is that who they got in the Champions League, was it? I've only really kind of skimmed over it. I was kind of going to react to it now on this live, as well as the Europa League and Conference League. We'll go over the FA Cup stuff as well. So I've kind of deliberately not really looked at it. I'm just kind of looking at it now. It looks as though PSG have got two Germans, two Spanish sides, two English sides. They've got Bayern at home, Leverkusen away. They've got Newcastle at home, Tottenham also at home, Barcelona and Bilbao away, Atalanta home, and Sporting Lisbon away. That's a horrible set of fixtures for PSG. Oh, wow, we got a super chat already. Angelina, thank you so much for your super chat. Was that a message? Was that just because you can? Thanks for the super chat. So PSG, they don't really get any benefit from winning the Champions League, do they? I think we should do a whole video dedicated to Hereford's relegation battle. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to talk too much about Hereford today. Did everyone see my reaction to Hereford's goal at Buxton, by the way, and the win at Buxton? Because I genuinely thought that was the turning point of our season. We were brilliant at Buxton. We were so good against a fully professional side, 2-0 up at half-time. They got a very late goal and they made us work for the win in the end. We won 2-1 at Buxton. But then I went to the home game against Chorley and we were woeful. I don't think I've ever seen a worse opening 45, but particularly the first 20 minutes. We were 3-0 down. Chorley got a penalty for their third, which was, you can see the short on this channel. It was a very soft penalty. I think if I have to give it or not give it, I think if I was the referee, I probably do give it because there is contact, so we can't really complain. It was very, very soft penalty decision. The guy scored it easily, made it 3-0, and then Chorley had another goal disallowed. And honestly, I don't think it was offside. I think the linesman and referee felt sorry for us because we were woeful. Then fast forward to Bank Holiday Monday, and I said we need to bounce back because I knew it was a tough start with the 4 title chasers. 3 points out of those 4 games is quite a good start, really, considering how good they're going to be. But then we lose at Radcliffe. We've sacked a couple of players. Caddis has got rid of Chris Ray and Kai Williams. They won't be part of our squad anymore, but he needs to get players in. They've got Alfreton at home tomorrow. And Bedford at home. Hereford will win or go up one day. I think they're too big for this league. We are a big side in this league, undoubtedly. We are a big side in this league. But I think, if anything, we're going to drop down rather than go up. Angelina says the super chat is to help with a new laptop. Yes, it would appear that I need it. Thanks. Thank you. Edward's Footy Predictions. Hensford against Baseford will be good. Yeah, Baseford really local to me. They knocked out Hucknall Town in the last round. I went to Hucknall's extra preliminary round tie a few weeks back. I think it was 0-0 at half-time. Hucknall and Basford scored 5 goals in the second half. Yeah, Hensford against Basford will be good, but I think Hensford will probably knock Basford out. Obviously, Hereford and the National League North-South teams come in the next round, so I'm hoping that we don't get an away tie against a team from a lower league, because we were knocked out by Bishop Stortford last season, and I'm hoping we can have a bit of a cup run. At least it'll salvage the woeful season that we're having so far. So PSG have got a horrendous start to the Champions League. Does anyone else think like the top 2 pots are really strong, and then the bottom pot looks really weak this year? As long as we get our revenge on VAR SG, I genuinely don't care how we do in the Champions League. Hello, I'm Roasters Shorts channel. That's interesting. Yeah, if you want to go and subscribe to JJR Skits, that's Roasters' other channel. We're just shorts. Let's take a look at Real Madrid's fixtures then. I'm not a big fan of Real Madrid. I always like to see them get beaten. They tend to dominate Europe too much. Man City at home, Liverpool away. Juventus home, Benfica away. Marseille home, Olympiacos away. Monaco home, Kairat away. And I think that's, other than Man City, Liverpool, I think Real Madrid will probably win most of those. I don't think Man City are going to be any good this season, so I think they probably do take 3 points off Man City. They lost at Anfield last season, fairly comfortable for Liverpool. I think they might drop points against Liverpool, but I can see Real Madrid coasting through that group stage. JJR says, opinion on Aitana Bonmati. I can't really comment because I don't watch enough women's football. It is something I'm going to cover a bit more on this channel at a later date if there's a demand for it. Is she one of the best players in the world? I think she won the World Cup with Spain, didn't she? JJR, my friend doesn't like her at all, and I don't like her. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't really comment on that. I didn't really watch any of the women's Euros. To be fair, I didn't watch much of the men's Euros. I don't really like. I don't think international football is that great at the moment. So yeah, I tend to. I always get a bit down when it's international break because we miss out on some of the other games. I just don't think international football is up to the standard that it used to be. Yeah, it is. It is. It's next weekend, I think. International break. I'll be going to. It's FA Trophy weekend as well. I'll be going to. There's a local derby in the FA Trophy. There's Long Eaton United against Carlton Town, which should be a brilliant game. That's where I'm headed next weekend. How are we feeling about Manchester City's fixtures in the Champions League? Trying to see if there's any local non-league games near me on. I guarantee there will be. Have you used the Footballogy app? You can log into Footballogy and click nearby fixtures, and it'll tell you what games are on, and it goes down about as far as the 11th tier, so like regional league. So it'll be like the Bristol, assuming you're Bristol based, it'll be like the Bristol district sort of Premier League. It goes down that far, so it's really easy to find a local fixture. If Spain boycott or rig the Ballon d'Ors, I don't know what to do. I never really watched the Ballon d'Or. I'm never really massively bothered by it. Manchester City in the Champions League, they've got a tough set of fixtures, and I think Man City can have another disaster this season. I don't think they're going to be great. Their home fixtures are Dortmund, Leverkusen, Galatasaray, and Napoli. They should probably win all 4 of those, but they can't afford to have an off day in any of them. And then they've got Real Madrid, Villarreal, Bodo Glimt, and Monaco away. I can see them struggling in the 2 Spain games. Monaco, maybe. So they need to step it up from last season. So, Edward, where in Wales are you? Between Cardiff and Swansea. It's a nice area of the country, that is, that area between Cardiff, Swansea. Port Talbot, kinda. Yeah, I like that part of the country. I love Wales. I grew up in Herefordshire, but I've got Welsh family. Who's winning the Champions League this season, by the way? Has anyone got any opinions on that? Who do you think's going to win the Champions League? Edward, have you ever been to Bristol? Because you could come to Bristol and we could do the shorts together. Good idea. Collab with each other. Kairat Almaty. I mean, who would have thought Kairat would make the league phase of the Champions League? That draw at Celtic was a woeful performance by Celtic, but fair play to Kairat for doing the same in the home leg and then beating them on penalties. What a disaster for the Scottish clubs in the Champions League. Rangers got absolutely hammered and Celtic got beaten by an underdog. Ashley hasn't been following the Premier League or Europe. No, I don't really follow it either. I mean, I tend to play through both on the FIFA games as they come out. I did a lot of predictions on the Premier League. In fact, I predicted every game on this channel last season. Not massively bothered about the Premier League, so I haven't done the predictions this season. It was a bit of a pain to do when there was single games and having to put the short out and I was committed to doing it all season, so having to do it constantly became a pain towards the end of the season when I was ground hopping as well. Yeah, there's some interesting teams in the Champions League this season. Bayern have got two English clubs as well. Bayern have got Chelsea home, PSG away, Bruges home, Arsenal away, Sporting home, PSV away, Union from Belgium, and Paphos away. Paphos against Bayern Munich's an interesting one. Paphos, yeah, it's in Cyprus, isn't it? Liverpool. I think Liverpool's Real Madrid into Atletico are tough fixtures, but the rest should be fairly straightforward for them. Frankfurt, PSV, Marseille, Karabakh, Galatasaray. They should be able to win the majority of those ones. I'll be headed to Bristol at some point this season to get to either a City or Rovers game, depending whether I can get tickets. I'm also down in Exeter at the end of October for Exeter against Plymouth. And with the game being moved to Thursday, I'm also going to watch Exmouth Town on the Saturday. So I'll be in Exeter for a couple of nights. Let's just check these fixtures. Sit in W2. Whereabouts is that? I don't see any collab with anyone on my part for a good 5 years. Upper tier. Yeah, I've never been to Ashton Gate. I don't think I've been to Rovers either. Maybe years ago. I was just looking through the grounds, which ones I've been to before I had my channel, because I need to revisit them all. And I think the biggest and only Premier League ground that I've been to that I haven't documented on the channel is Chelsea. Haven't been to Stamford Bridge, but I'd much rather go to. I mean, I'm trying to get to a Napoli game at the start of October. They're playing Genoa, but I'd much rather cover non-league than sort of Premier League, Championship games. It would be immense if Bristol City go up. They've been close for a while, but I think Bristol. I think I saw a stat somewhere that Bristol is the biggest UK city that's never had a Premier League football club. They might have played in the old First Division. I don't know. Have Bristol City ever played in the top flight? But since the formation of the Premier League, most of the big cities in the UK, or in England rather, have had a Premier League team. I think Bristol is the biggest that hasn't. in 1980. Yeah, I thought so, but it was... Ashley used to go to Brighton when they were in the lower leagues. Yeah, I remember Brighton when they were in lower leagues because we got relegated when they stayed up on the final day in 1997. I was 10 years old and we got relegated on the final day. Brighton stayed up, we went down. Robbie Reinhold scored the goal. So yeah, these Champions League pots, they seem very, very strong in the top two pots, and then the lower pot seems a lot weaker than last year. No disrespect to the teams in the bottom pot, but teams like Kairat, Paphos, I don't know if they've ever played in the Champions League before. Newcastle, I think Newcastle have got a tough Barcelona and PSG, but otherwise I think Newcastle's fixtures are winnable. I don't think Newcastle's fixtures are that bad at all. Footy predictions. I think Barcelona home, PSG away, you've probably got to acknowledge that you're not going to get anything from those two games. But there's six winnable games. Benfica home, winnable. Leverkusen away, they're not as good as they were. PSV at home, winnable. Marseille away, winnable. Bilbao home, tough one. Winnable ties, and then Union St. Gilloise, I think they're going to beat them. So I don't think Newcastle will be that bad. One game that's winnable is that Union. Now, I think Newcastle could win 5 of those. I don't think that's a bad draw at all. I think it's a bit frustrating that they've drawn Athletic Bilbao out of the weak pot, because there were some much weaker teams in that pot that they could have had. Qarabag have got to play Chelsea at home, Liverpool away. What an amazing achievement for them to qualify for the Champions League. Napoli away. I'd love to get to a Champions League fixture at Napoli, but I just think it'd be impossible to get tickets. Galatasaray in the bottom pot, Monaco, Copenhagen. We got Marseille, Bodo Glimt. Now, Bodo Glimt are one of those teams that are never pushovers. They constantly overachieve in Europe. They've reached the Champions League this time. Manchester City home, Dortmund away, Juventus home, Atletico away, Tottenham home, Slavia away, Monaco home, Galatasaray away. They'll relish all of those fixtures. They probably won't win any of them, but they'll relish them all. Slavia have got to play Arsenal and Tottenham. Yeah, Bodo Glimt's ground does look decent. At Olympiacos, just looking at Olympiacos' fixtures, because remember I haven't looked at these fixtures yet, so I'm kind of just looking at them now in real time. And they've got Real Madrid, Barcelona, Leverkusen, Arsenal, Olympiacos. But then they've got PSV Eindhoven, Ajax, Paphos and Kairat. So Olympiacos could be on for 4 wins there. They could quite feasibly beat the 2 Dutch teams. Paphos, you'd expect them to beat. Kairat, you'd expect them to beat. Sporting didn't really do a lot after Amorim left. Tough set of fixtures for them. They've got both Juve and Napoli away. They've got to go to Italy twice. PSG home, Bayern away. Kairat at home. Napoli then. JJR hates Nottingham Forest because of Marinakis. I think a lot of people feel the same way. Time for revenge on VAR SG with their devil, it seems. Yeah, look, I live in Nottingham, so Forest are like my local top flight team. I've got a friend who works for Forest, but a lot of teams don't like Marinakis. But I think with the big clubs, Forest sort of mixing amongst the big clubs, they don't really like to be challenged. I mean, if they'd won on the final day, they'd find themselves in the Champions League and not the Europa League. Napoli are a team that I really want to go and watch. I'm hoping, my wife is looking at tickets to Naples for the start of October, so I'm hoping to get tickets to Napoli against Genoa. But they've got relatively straightforward Champions League campaign. Angelina says Marinakis is dodgy. I've heard that. Definitely heard it. There was sort of rumours surrounding Morgan Gibbs-White, but who knows? Newcastle are in for an Italian midfielder. Who's that? Can Hereford get a draw off Alfreton? I don't think a draw is enough, to be honest. I think if we get a draw with Alfreton, we've played 6 games, we've got 4 points. We really need to be beating the likes of Alfreton at home. Chorley, fair play. They're one of the best teams in the league. Kings Lynn, fair play. But we just seem weak at home and afraid to play in front of our own crowd. So yeah, we've got Alfreton and then we've got Bedford Town, and I honestly can't see us winning either of those. I'd probably be happy with a draw in both. Inter Milan's David Fortesi. It'd be a good signing, that. Would be a good move. Angelina says, businessman, yeah, right. I mean, he does his business in one way or another, doesn't he? So Napoli's Champions League fixtures. Chelsea at home, winnable. Man City away, normally I'd say not winnable, but this season probably winnable. Frankfurt beatable, Benfica away beatable, Sporting at home beatable, PSV away, Karabakh home, Copenhagen away. Napoli could be right up there at the top of the league phase come the end of it. They've got a fairly straightforward draw. Ajax. Are Ajax any good these days? You know, they dropped out. They almost got relegated out of the Dutch Premier League at one point. Inter home, Chelsea away, Benfica home, Villarreal away, Olympiacos home, Marseille away, Galatasaray home, Karabakh away. Can Ajax get through? I think those fixtures are, some of them are winnable. We finally got a striker. Yeah, I saw that Newcastle were going for a striker. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but yeah. Ajax, did they bottle the league last year? Did PSV win it? Baltimade. That's it. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. What's the opinions on Isak then? Dare I ask what the opinion is on Isak? My personal opinion from a neutral on Isak would be, why would Liverpool want him now with that attitude? Eddie Howe should say to Isak, you're not going anywhere. You've got a contract with us. Sit in the reserves. Fergie would have done. Behave like that under Alex Ferguson. You'd sit in the reserves and you'd not play. I'd be very surprised if Liverpool are still interested in him. Ekitike looks very good. Liverpool with Salah as well. I'm not sure Liverpool even need Isak. Undoubtedly a very strong, very good player, but his attitude's horrendous. Eddie Howe should stick him in the reserves for the rest of the season or for the rest of his contract. Liverpool, I'd be very surprised if I'm surprised that Liverpool still want him after that. Isak should stay and be in the under-21s. Liverpool want to bid around 160 million. Isak should go Barcelona. I don't understand why any club would be interested in Isak after the way he's behaved at Newcastle. He came and put that statement out about things being untrue, but he's refusing to play. He wants to move away. It's not going about it the right way. It's almost Newcastle that kind of discovered the guy as well. So I'd be surprised if Liverpool are still interested. Ekitike looks very good. Wow, PSV Eindhoven's. I'm just looking at these fixtures again. I've gone from the bottom to the top now. PSV Eindhoven have probably got the worst set of fixtures in the Champions League. They've got PSV have got Newcastle away, Union at home, which is winnable. Olympiacos away is winnable, but then they've got Napoli at home, Leverkusen away, Atletico home, Liverpool away, Bayern at home. That is a horrendous set of fixtures. You can just see my cat creeping into the corner of the screen there. Newcastle should terminate his contract or don't pay him at all. Trouble is, though, if Newcastle pay him his contract, they terminate his contract, they'll have to pay him off, and the club don't want that. Isak needs to learn off Eberechi Eze about how to ask to leave a club. Yeah, agreed. The way Eze's done it, I bet Palace fans wouldn't have anything against him. Tottenham Hotspur's fixtures in the Champions League. I would say Tottenham, after PSV having the worst, I would say Tottenham have some of this is probably the best fixture list actually. Their home fixtures, Dortmund, hit or miss. Dortmund could be good, might not. Same with Villarreal. They've got Villarreal at home. Slavia, Prague, and Copenhagen at home. You'd expect Tottenham to win both of those. I'd say at least 8 points from those 4 home games. Away, they've got PSG. I think we know they're probably going to lose there. Away to Frankfurt with very little Champions League experience. Away to Bodo Glimt, who they should beat, and away to Monaco, who aren't as good as they used to be. So 17 points for Tottenham off those fixtures. Club Brugge, some favourable fixtures as well, I think. Club Brugge's home ties: Barcelona, Arsenal, Marseille, Monaco. Probably lose to Barca and Arsenal. Club Brugge away: Bayern, Atalanta, Sporting, and Kairat. Again, they'd probably lose to Atalanta and Bayern. Probably pick up enough points there to make the knockout rounds. Actually, I changed my mind about PSV. We look at Eintracht Frankfurt's fixtures. Horrible. Edward says, I think we need to get at least 4 points from our away games and 7 points from our home games to get playoffs. I think Newcastle can aim for more than that. I think Newcastle have got at least 5 winnable ties there. I think Newcastle will be okay. Take a look at Frankfurt's fixtures. This, for me, is the hardest set of fixtures so far, with PSV just after. Frankfurt's home fixtures are Liverpool, Atalanta, Tottenham, and Galatasaray. They could lose all 4 of those. Their away fixtures: Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Napoli, and Qarabag. That's 1 winnable tie, potentially. I mean, they could beat Tottenham. But Frankfurt's set of fixtures are horrible. You've got Juve and Villarreal next. Poor Frankfurt and PSV. Yeah, those are horrendous fixtures. Juventus's fixtures are probably mixed. They've got their home ties are Dortmund, Benfica, Sporting, and Paphos. 3 winnable ones there. Their away ones: Real Madrid and Villarreal, which are tough. Bodo Glimt and Monaco, also tough, but 2 to 3 of those are winnable. Jonathan Burkhardt will cook at Frankfurt. Yeah, I don't think Newcastle's fixtures are that bad compared to some of these. Villarreal's are all right. Man City, Juve, Ajax, Copenhagen at home. Dortmund, Leverkusen, Tottenham, Paphos away. Villarreal are one of those sides that on their day they could beat anyone. Atalanta. I actually think Atalanta's fixtures are some of the best ones. I'm going to head off now. I'm going to upload some videos. I might come back. That's fair enough. Come back if you want to. It'd be great to have you back. If not, I'm going to be doing my next live feed will be on Monday. I'm going to probably do 1 a week. But as it's the FA Cup second qualifying round draw on Monday lunchtime, I'm going to be doing another live Monday at 4 just to react to the draw. Hopefully Hereford have got a favourable one, and then I'll be trying to decide which fixture I'm going to. So I'll be on for another half an hour or so if you do decide to come back. Liverpool and Atalanta have two of the best fixtures. Well, Atalanta's looks certainly, a lot of them are winnable. Atalanta's home ties: Chelsea, Club Brugge, Slavia Prague, Athletic Bilbao. 3 winnable. I think they'll probably struggle against Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea will do much in the Premier League this season, but I think we've seen the way that Chelsea play against European teams, I think they'll struggle to play that way against other Premier League sides. I still think the title race will be between Liverpool and Arsenal. But in Europe, we saw the way they played against PSG in the Club World Cup final, that they are going to compete with the top teams in Europe. So I think Chelsea could be an outside chance to actually win the Champions League. But yeah, Atalanta could easily be top 8 with those fixtures. I really like Atalanta because they almost single-handedly revolutionized Italian football by playing attacking when a lot of the teams were based on defenses. Footy predictions, I think we'll be in a title challenge for most of the season. Who isn't delusional about their own team? I mean, I thought Hereford were going to get in the playoffs, which is just not going to happen. Oh, Benfica. I'm going to change my mind again. I said club. Who was it? Frankfurt's fixtures are tough. Take a listen at Benfica's fixtures. Home ties: Real Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Napoli, Qarabag. They'll beat Qarabag. Will they beat any of the other teams at home? Benfica's away fixtures: Chelsea, Juventus, Ajax, Newcastle. Benfica could go through that without a single victory. I think Benfica's fixtures are probably, Benfica's are probably the toughest. Ashley says that really is delusional, Hereford getting in the playoffs. Thanks for that. We were up until the final day last season, we were in the playoffs. We lost to Scunthorpe on the final day and missed out by 1 point. But this season, we're going to be closer to the bottom than the top. I'm scrambling around, seeing where are our points going to come from. We need to get something from Alfreton on Saturday. I think then the board start looking at our manager. Is he the right man for the job? Do we keep Paul Caddis in a job? I like Caddis, but do they get rid of him? Do the board decide it's Paul Caddis's fault and sack him? Atletico Madrid have got a relatively comfortable set of fixtures, I'd say. Atletico Madrid's home games are Inter, Frankfurt, Bodo Glimt, and Union St. Gilloise. I think they could potentially win all of those. Atletico's away games are Liverpool, Arsenal, PSV, and Galatasaray. Atletico could, they probably won't win at the Emirates. They probably won't win at Anfield. But Atletico could win. Atletico, again, are one of those teams that if they turn up, they could win at Anfield. They could come to the Emirates and win. So Atletico are one of those. I think they'll win their home ties. Ashley says, I think you have to keep him for now. At least you can't sack him this early. No, I agree. I think we do need to stick with the manager. But if we lose our next 2 and we've played 7 games and got 3 points, we'll clearly be bottom because we're second bottom as it is. I think if we lose our next 2 fixtures, I might start changing my mind on that. If Newcastle win the Champions League, I'll go crazy. So will I. That'd be amazing. Bayer Leverkusen. Now, this is a tricky set of fixtures for Leverkusen as well. At home, they've got PSG, Villarreal, PSV, and Newcastle. All tough fixtures. Away, they have Man City, Benfica, Olympiacos, and Copenhagen. If we win anything, I'll make an Isak slander edit. Wouldn't that be amazing if Isak forces the move to Liverpool and then Newcastle win the Champions League? It'll be a bit like Mbappe moving to Real Madrid and then PSG winning the Champions League the next year. Arsenal then. I'm not a massive fan of Arsenal. 2 tough home fixtures, 2 should be relatively straightforward wins at the Emirates. Bayern Munich, Atletico, Olympiacos, Kairat are Arsenal's home fixtures. Arsenal travel to Inter, Club Brugge, Slavia Prague, and Athletic Bilbao. Fairly tough away games as well. I'll just laugh myself off for 5 years if that happens. Yeah, same. Barcelona then. I think Barcelona's fixtures are the most favourable, just looking at them now. Home ties, PSG, tough one, of course. Frankfurt, Olympiacos, Copenhagen. There should be 3 wins out of 4 at least for Barcelona at home. Away ties, Chelsea, tough one. Club Brugge, winnable. Slavia Prague, winnable. Newcastle away, very tough. But you'd expect Barcelona to go to St. James's Park and win. I think Inter Milan will win the Champions League, beating Liverpool or Arsenal in the final. I thought they were going to win it last year, but look how they played in the final. What about Dortmund? Dortmund's are tough. Dortmund's fixtures are tough, but not as tough as some of the others. So Dortmund have got Inter, Villarreal, Bodo Glimt, and Athletic Bilbao at home. They've got Man City, Juventus, Tottenham, and Copenhagen away. Ashley says, I think Hereford's played some good sides, and maybe Radcliffe just cashed in on that form, and Buxton was pretty good as well last year. Yeah, out of the 5 games we've played, 4 of them have been against teams that are potentially title chasers, Kings Lynn especially. And that win at Buxton was amazing. It's the best I've seen us play in years, that one. But then we followed it up with a dreadful performance at home to Chorley. Yeah, Radcliffe would have looked at our form and thought those are there to be beaten, and they outplayed us. To beat us 1-0. I was at Hales Owen against Worcester that day. So Chelsea's fixtures. These are okay. Chelsea's fixtures. Home ties: Barcelona, Benfica, Ajax, Paphos. Away ties: Bayern, Atalanta, Napoli, Karabag. 6 difficult fixtures and 2 that should be winnable. I don't know why, but I'm wearing a Newcastle top and PSG shorts. Do you like PSG then? And I think that's all of the teams covered in there. That's all of the sides in the Champions League covered. So yeah, who is winning the Champions League? Edward's Footy Predictions thinks it'll be Inter Milan. I think they've been close for a few seasons now. So yeah, they could be close. Let's have a look if we can get to the... My employer gave me the shorts and I just decided to wear them. Well, that's fair enough. Inter Milan. I'd quite like to see an Italian side win the Champions League. Let's have a look at... What do we think of the FA Cup first qualifying round ties this weekend? What are the picks of the round? Does anyone know who's playing who? For me, there's 3 that stand out. We've got the flat cap derby, as it's called, Atherton LR against Atherton Collieries. There's the one I'm going to, Matlock against Bottisford. There's Evesham United against Bromsgrove Sporting, the Worcestershire derby. And the other one is Tiverton Town against Taunton Town, which I think is down by you, Footy Predictions. Hensford v Baseford is a very good fixture. Have a soft spot for Hensford. How come? It's quite far from you, Hensford, isn't it? So, your mum went to Hensford Games when she was a kid. That's fair enough. Also, we had the Carabao Cup draw, didn't we? Midweek. I was hoping PVFC Live was going to be in this live because I'm trying to get tickets for Port Vale against Arsenal in the third round. My friend is a season ticket holder at Vale Park. I'm hoping that I can get to that one. That should be quite a good game. Be a good one to vlog as well. Who have Newcastle got in the third round? I watched the draw, but I can't remember. Bradford City, is that at home or away? Bradford City away would be tough. What do we think of Manchester United's game in the Carabao Cup? Can Hallam worry about Ashton United being 2 leagues below? I think Hallam are 1 league below Ashton United now because they got promoted last season. Ashton are in the Northern Premier League, I believe. But I think Hallam could cause a shock. They'll be good at home. I spoke to their captain when I was there a couple of weeks ago, and he said he wanted, if they beat City of Liverpool, which they did, he would fancy playing against anyone at home. So I think they could cause a shock there. Could have been Blackburn or Stoke. Yeah, did Newcastle get drawn out? They got drawn out like quite early on, didn't they? I think Port Vale Arsenal was the first tie out. I missed the start and I saw it live on the TV and I rewound it. And I think as I was rewinding it, I saw Port Vale Arsenal flash up. I wasn't sure if that was actually happening, so I watched it and yeah, it is. I messaged my mate straight away. I was like, "Can you get us tickets for that one?" I've covered Port Vale 3 times on this channel so far. Happy for the Vale fans. Repeat of Grimsby versus Man United, maybe. I think if Arsenal go to Vale Park with the intention of fielding a weak team, at Port Vale, don't forget, they won away at Birmingham midweek. My mate was at that one. So if Arsenal don't take it seriously, they could be embarrassed at Vale Park. So yeah, I haven't been to a Carabao Cup game for years, I don't think. Used to go, I remember Hereford losing 7-0 to Middlesbrough in the second round when Ravanelli was playing and he scored 4. Now Juninho, that super team that Middlesbrough built that got relegated. If we go through it, want us to play Swansea or Cardiff away. Who did Swansea and Cardiff get? In fact, you know what? Rather than asking, I'm just going to find the draw. That would be easier, wouldn't it? Let's have a look at this draw then. EFL Cup fixtures. Have the dates been announced for the fixtures then? Oh no, they clearly haven't. Swansea got Swansea did get Forest, didn't they? And Cardiff got Burnley. Will Forest take that seriously with European football coming to the City Ground? Forest could get knocked out by Swansea. Cardiff could beat Burnley. How amazing would it be if Cardiff got Swansea in the Carabao Cup? They will on Saturday. That's when European fixtures are announced. Yeah, I'm hoping that Vale will be playing in a couple of weeks' time rather than 3 weeks' time. But I think the way they did it last year was the Champions League opened 1 week and played the fixtures across the 2 nights as they do. And then the Europa League opened the week after, I believe. So I imagine they'll do the same again. I imagine it'll be Champions League first, Europa League second. So I would imagine that Port Vale will play in the second lot of fixtures. Welcome back, JJR. So hopefully I'll be at Vale Park. If not, then I'll find like a local game that week. I will be going to a couple of Southern League Premier games in a couple of weeks' time. So it's Matlock Town for me tomorrow. I've been there before, played there years ago. Matlock Town against Bottisford Town in the FA Cup for me. Then potentially replays if there are any good replays midweek. Otherwise, I'll be headed to Halifax Town against Woking on Wednesday. Edwards footy predictions, delighted for Morecambe. I think the whole country is. And that last-minute winner as well. That last-minute winner they got in their first game. What a great result that was. Who are Bristol City playing tomorrow? Is it Bristol City vlog you're doing? Opinion on Punjab Warriors. I mean, they saved the club. I wasn't convinced that they were, so I guess give it a few. I think Morecambe got a bit of a hammering midweek, didn't they? But yeah, Punjab Warriors appear to have saved the club. They appear to have done what they said they were going to do, so they look good so far. Guess we'll trust them for the time being until we're given reason not to. Punjab Warriors are brilliant. So far, so good, yeah. How long does it take you to edit your vlogs? Will it be out tomorrow, or will you be like me and you have to give it a day or so? Because I'll get back from Matlock. I'll probably hang around with the Botsford staff and players after, because I know them. And I'll probably won't be back until about 7:30ish tomorrow night. When I get back, I'm not going to be in the mood to edit, so I'll probably get that video out on Sunday. Are you a season ticket holder at Bristol City then? 6:37. So that's quite quick. That's a really quick turnaround. That is then. But then I don't film the content. I don't film the content as I go. I film and then I record my voiceover piece after. So it takes me quite a while to edit together. Right, I'm going to end the live shortly because my laptop battery is starting to run down. I think Angelina's super chat is going to have to go towards getting a new laptop. Cardiff games are only £16 for me. How much do Cardiff City cost normally? Have they dropped the prices since they got relegated then? That's cheaper than it is to watch Hereford. I bought my Hereford ticket online in advance, and it cost me £17. That's more than Cardiff City in League One. Angelina says, do I need another super chat? I always need more super chats. What creator doesn't need more super chats? It all goes towards the new laptop. And I had to buy myself a new mic as well, because the last time I did, I bought this little mic, which is pretty good, from Amazon. I bought one exactly the same, and after a couple of uses, it died. So I think the last live stream I did, I had to use the radio mic, which wasn't quite as clear. That's one Cardiff game though, not a season ticket. Yeah, one Hereford game cost me £17, and those are the cheaper tickets. And we're 3-0 down after 20 minutes. Some fans left in the first 20 minutes. It was that bad. Yeah, dreadful performance. That Hereford Chorley game was probably the worst game I've sat through. For the sake of my vlog, I sat through all of it. And at the start of the second half, Hereford got a goal back to make it 3-1. And I thought maybe there's a chance. And then we had chances to make it 3-2. But after missing a relatively comfortable chance, Chorley went away and scored to make it 4-1. And that's game over. That's for 15 to 21-year-olds. That's really good. That is really good because most clubs only, the sort of junior discount only really applies to under 16. So that's really good that they've done that. I wouldn't qualify for that. Yeah, I need to get myself over to Cardiff at some point. Cardiff, Swansea. I've been to the Liberty Stadium before. It is a really nice ground, really good atmosphere. I've got 2 sleeping cats next to me, so I might have to put them on camera before I go. Anyone else got anything else they want to mention? Any other games you're going to? Any other predictions? Anyone else want to have a dig at Hereford? Easy target at the moment. Want to go to Liberty Stadium again? It's a very good stadium. It's one of my favourites. It is one of my favourites. Right, so let's just take this webcam because I've got Cat 1 sleeping. They really can sleep everywhere, can't they? That's Cat 1, and there's Cat 2. They've just been sleeping next to me while I'm doing the live feed. Cat 1, Cat 2. I want to have a dig at Leeds. You can have a dig at Leeds if you want. Both sleepy cats. If they don't get points at Alfreton, we'll be in a relegation battle. Yep. I think they do like my football chat because it sends them to sleep. Clearly, they're both really peaceful. Leeds have played absolutely crap lately and will beat them 5-10 if they're not careful at Elland Road. Yeah, they're going to be in a relegation fight, aren't they, Leeds? I think Arsenal will be strong. I think Arsenal will win the title for me. Bristol Rovers have Grimsby at the weekend. Have Bristol Rovers won a game in the league yet? Congratulations for Sheffield Wednesday for beating Leeds. Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? Like, Leeds put out quite a strong squad, and Sheffield Wednesday's younger team still managed to beat them in the Carabao Cup. They beat Cambridge, so they finally got a win. Right, guys, I am going to log off the live now. I'm in my gym kit again because that's where I'm going to go in 5 or 10 minutes time. I'm going to be doing another live feed on Monday, so if you know anyone else who might want to join, it'll be at 4 o'clock because I usually go to the gym after. So it'll be at 4 o'clock. I'm going to be talking about the FA Cup second qualifying round draw. JJR Skits has got new shorts out, so if you want to go and check his channel out after my live stream finishes, go and have a look. And yeah, so Monday, 4 o'clock. If you know anyone else that might want to join, get them along. Let's get as many people as we can. I think we had 17 or 18 last time. Let's try and get a few more on the live stream. So thanks for joining, guys, and I will catch you in the next live stream.